I'll show you right away with an example of a specific article that I've already written here. I've already gone through it, done all the editing and fixed everything that needed to be fixed. By the way, I'm in Cortex, the same one I often talk about. Here I have the corresponding folder for my topic, and here I have this research source. This is my original article that I wrote myself, and here's the final article that we formed with Claude. Here I have a folder with content ideas, these are separate topics. Now I'm exporting this article to PDF format. I'll save it here in the folder on my computer. Then I go to my prompts. I have this prompt here. We need to post prompt, which I simply take from here and copy. So I select everything, copy it, and then I go to Claude. Here at the very beginning, I need to remember to change the model to Sonnet 3.7. This is important. And here you put the text. If I just paste text here, it will appear as this picture. So we use Ctrl plus Shift plus V, which allows you to paste plain text, so that is inserted here as text, not as a picture. If you work on Mac, there may be a different key combinations, but generally the purpose of these keys is to insert text without formatting. Then it's placed here exactly as text. Now I take all my files that I exported and send them here. Here I have the source of the original article, here I have research and so on. And from here I'll need these file names. Here I need the first item. I always return to the beginning of the prompt itself. Here I have written what should be there in what order. So I have article first, then source, then style guide, then audience, and finally research. First I take the name of my file with the article and I copy it, paste it here. The second item should be the original text. So I take my source here, copy it here, paste it as item number 2. Next item number 3 for me is the style guide, then target audience or customer avatar, and finally research. So I just copy its file name, paste it, and click on the Send to Claude button. Then Claude starts thinking, gathers its thoughts, and immediately creates an artifact with posts. After some time, it will generate all these posts, and here they are already structured in accordance with the format specified in the prompt. First, we will have one-sentence posts, then there will be a multi-line posts. They are all separated by this break. Note this, each post has a character count, but it usually doesn't correspond to reality. If we check, there will most likely be more than 2 and 16 characters here, it counts them incorrectly. I've noted this, I've already written about this too, and there will be a separate lesson about errors of artificial intelligence that can happen. This length, for example, of these posts, you can see that. Although no, these posts, they are normal in length. It's just that the line break didn't appear here, the cursor didn't move to the next line before this text. Although here, for example, this is all done cleanly. Here it already got lost context and stopped breaking it with a line. So no, all posts here now look reasonable in terms of length. Although this one may be longer. Yes, this one is most likely longer than 280 characters. And it cheated here. There are not 277 characters here. Then come the quotes, then examples and so on, and at the end we get scripts for videos too. So all I do is copy this text after it's finished, then create a separate document where I will place all my posts. I call it posts in the same folder where I have this topic, and here are my posts. I remove this extra stuff that I don't need, I leave the headings. Then what I do is turn each of these individual posts into blocks like this. This is simply done for convenience because it's convenient for me to use it this way. Here I have a post, I can collapse it, and I immediately see, for example, what kind of post it was. Further, when I already publish these posts, I mark here. I put a tag publish this way. Again, I collapse all these blocks, and you can see which of these posts I have already published and which ones not yet. And thus I get such a set of posts. Since I haven't published it yet, I remove this, but here I put the corresponding formatting for them. Usually I also separate posts from technical information with a divider. Here we have, for example, what techniques we use here. That's a paradox, a negativity bias, a pattern interrupt. Okay, I don't agree that there are some pattern interrupt used here, but nevertheless. And for my video scripts, I create a separate file, simply separating them by purpose. Here I have posts, and separately I have a file that I call shorts. Here we insert scripts, and I also divide them into separate elements in exactly the same way. So here it's not highlighted for some reason because I have numbering here and it's not perceived as a text. I can't assign a corresponding block to it. This is how it needs to be done, and here I can already insert numbering. This is a small flaw in Cortex, but it doesn't change the essence. So I have a document with posts and a document with shorts, which I can now use for posting.